of Ukraine.
All right, we're continuing on with our next bout here as we had a lightning quick finish to the previous ones. We're moving ahead with men's senior flyweight, 56.7 kilograms or 125 pounds. Dmytro Makarov should be no stranger to those who have followed the IMAFs. He made his way here by decisioning both Team Italy and then Team Portugal. He is extremely well credentialed. He actually won gold in the 2021 IMAF World Cup as well as bronze in the 2019 Youth Championships.
He's got great boxing as well, excellent wrestling if he needs to lean on it. Watch for him to set up the right hand, the overhand right in particular, to channel that level change and get the fight down to the ground.
Absolutely, definitely a well-rounded fighter, but yeah, that boxing of his is definitely something that I personally like to keep an eye out for.
And in red corner, proudly representing Ireland, we have Kieran Mackarton.
And his opponent, all the way from Ireland, Kieran Mackarton. He first defeated Gor Akelian of Team Armenia via armbar in the second round, and then decisioned Arsen Tuganov of Team Sweden, and that sealed the deal for his final matchup that we're seeing in front of us.
Mackarton very well rounded as well, but super dangerous off of his back. And what I like about Team Ireland is they're really covering all facets of the game. Excellent striking, but they make sure they tie the loose ends with the wrestling when they come into the IMAF tournaments.
Absolutely, Dean. I completely agree. The way that they seem to constantly have weapons on the ground is definitely something that I feel is a telltale sign of the Irish national team. No matter what they're good at, they've always got some dangerous stuff to throw up off of their back. So we'll see if this fight ends up on the ground at all.
Referee in octagon from India, Mr. Kevin Alfred David. So let's hear him.
Athletes, you'll know the rules of the game. Protect yourselves at all time. Obey my commands at all time. When I say stop, you stop. Watch the punches behind the head and watch your low kicks. Touch gloves and back to your corners.
Kevin David in charge of this men's flyweight final here between Ivan Kurolaru of Ukraine in the blue, Kieran Mackarton of Ireland in the red. There's some of that boxing you were talking about, Dean.
He likes to maneuver on the outside position, and he draws his opponents in with the power shots, but he's always got that double leg to lean on, so constantly a threat, tying the boxing and the double leg attempts together. Nice leg kick though, but I think in the first round they're going to use a feeling out process. They're going to try and push each other's will on each other, try and see the strengths and weaknesses, and then come up with a definitive game plan there to win.
And that would make sense. You don't want to rush something when there is so much at stake. After all, the world is watching. This is one of the most global MMA competitions you can possibly get. And look, there's a takedown attempt from Kieran Mackarton of Team.
He connects the hands. He can do a number of takedowns off of this cage. Inside, outside trips. There's the outside trip. Top position here now. Nice recovery from Ireland, though, into the full guard.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very quick adjustment there from the Irish fighter on the bottom. Let's see if we see some of that tricky grappling. It looks like he's already starting to move his legs up, Kieran Mackarton, that is, to potentially threaten with something.
Trying to utilize the rubber guard momentarily there. Knee shield here now. Could use this to stand back to his feet. Oh, there's a nice right hand sneak through the guard there. Makarov looking for the footlock potentially. Mackarton back to his feet. I like the way he used that opportunity to get back to his feet, but still on the pressed up against the cage here. He's got to start to pummel for those underhooks and switch this around.
Approach the final 10 seconds here of round number one. So a proper feeling out process, both on the feet and on the ground. Okay, first round in the books. Closely contested thus far.
But the outside position, for me, stood out more for Team Ukraine. If you look at the replay here, so the barrage of strikes early on, there's an outside position from Team Ireland that switched instantly. For me, Makarov did the better job on the outside position at least, and of course, with this trip to get that top position.
And it looked like Makarov was gonna go for that submission there as well, but I like the fact that he didn't, because that just show poise and maturity and just generally high fight IQ, that he didn't go for something that he did that he wasn't sure was going to stick. A nice move there by Makarov. Second round here between Ukraine and Ireland. It's Keen Mackarton of Ireland pressing forward, taking the center of the cage here.
Mackarton trying to use that lead hand to set up that right hand. Eats a left hook for his troubles, catches the kick. The level change from Makarov. Makarov real responsive, able just to pull the trigger at all angles now in the outside position.
And it sounds like the Irish corner wants Keen Mackarton to get away from the fence, and I'm inclined to agree. He's not really getting a whole lot accomplished right. Nice job there, circling out. Now he's the one on the hunt, goes for the takedown, but well defended there by Makarov.
That's knee there, the interim from Mackarton. Going for those takedowns and engaging in these grappling exchanges, giving that outside position away to Makarov. I mean, it's not the best bet unless he's trying to set up the strikes here. Jumps potentially for the... Looked like he was going for a flying triangle, but opts to go to the guard. Up against the cage like this is going to be difficult because Makarov can stack him into the cage. He can use his head as a targeting technique for that ground and pound also.
Yeah, and he's basically obliging. Verdine landed a nice right hand on his Irish opponent. Perhaps a bit of a tactical error there by Mackarton, as he didn't really go for a submission, but boom, big takedown there for the Ukrainian, gets into side control.
Makarov now going to try and lace those legs and walk up to the mount. Whilst he does that, got to be cautious to drag Mackarton away from that cage to prevent the cage walk back to the feet.
That left leg of Mackarton constantly climbing higher and higher up as he is on his back. Oh, submission attempt there from Makarov.
He looked to do that in the first round, but aborted mission. Drops down here now, potentially looking for the straight footlock. Got to be careful about putting longitudinal pressure through the knee. Lets it go, lets it wrestle on the outside position. That's a wise decision. Dropping down for the footlock. If you lose it, the opponent gets into that top position. That's why we saw Makarov reset, start to reshoot, and command this top position again.
And perhaps a little bit of a tell of what he's got planned, because that's twice now that he's thought about submissions targeted towards the leg, so maybe something that he's been working on. Oh, nice kick to the body there.
Carton fires off, lands some definitive right hands. Last 10 seconds of round two here. Great footwork from Makarov, though. Another right hand lands and the barrel resounds. Mackarton now seeming to come alive here in round two.
And that's pretty interesting because he pulled guard there in the second round, but honestly, I thought that striking is, even if it was somewhat short-lived there towards the end of the second round, is striking pretty good.
But that's what he's got to do. He's got to initiate the strike and he's got to pressure. But whilst being cautious of keeping his back off the cage to avoid these takedowns here, just seeing from the replay from Makarov. There was the footlock attempt. He sat back, the outside ashi. Difficult to facilitate the straight footlock, so the aborted mission, started to wrestle back to the top position. So far, Makarov doing the better job mixing the grappling exchange and using the cage to his advantage. But look at that striking from Mackarton. Had much more success in that second round.
Here we go, third and final round between Dmytro Makarov of Ukraine in the blue and Kieran Mackarton of Ireland in the red. Neither fighter really pulling away in a big way yet. Mackarton pressing the action there, but he eats a kick to the body for his troubles.
This is what you're going to do. Use those power combinations with the footwork to avoid capture of the kicks and also the takedown. At this point in time, did a good job of pressuring Makarov up against the cage. So he has a bit of time to exit here. Look, he's trying to frame, uses the knee. If he has the back against the cage, it's going to be more difficult for him to exit. So he's making the adjustment to keep his back into the center of the cage.
Don't accept the fence. We're pushing him now, not the other way around. Let's go. I'll put the pace on it. Let's go. Keep touching. 2 minutes to work here now.
And the key for Mackarton is to listen to the coach. Avoid the cage, avoid the fence, and keep the pressure on him with these combinations.
Makarov doing a great job of staying mobile, though. Never a stationary target, that's for sure.
Disengage and reshoot. You can disengage, hit him and reshoot if you want to clean her.
The Irish corner asking for a disengagement and a reshoot so he can get low on the legs.
I think that's good advice, to be honest. He's a little bit high up now. It's going to be very hard to get the takedown from this position, especially now that Makarov has one underhook.
Oh, wonderful circle there from Team Ireland. Able to regain center of the cage here. Now look at the deep breath from Team Ukraine. This is where Mackarton needs to read that situation and put the pressure on with the strikes.
Yeah, nice call, Verdina. Absolutely. He does look slightly more fatigued than his Irish opponent, that's for sure.
Mackarton could also start to dig to the body. That's going to further facilitate a little bit of draw power from the cardio systems of Makarov.
Takedown attempt there from the Irishman. Makarov jumps guillotine.
Oh, he's got it tight here. Looks like he's got an arm in. You can see the fingers shake there from Mackarton. He has a grimace on the face as he receives the submission attempt, but avoids the guillotine. Now in the top position. This is where he's going to get busy. Last 20 seconds in round 3 here. Mackarton's got to try and separate and utilize the ground and pound. Referee asking for more action.
All right. 3 rounds just flew right by as we will go to the judges' scorecards on this one. Some interesting back and forth action there. Both fighters definitely had some good moments.
It's going to be an interesting decision here. I mean, Makarov, I would say definitely round 1. Potentially round 2. Round 3, maybe Mackarton. It's going to be an interesting decision to see what the judges have on their scorecards.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the best striking of round 2 came courtesy of Mackarton, and sure, was at the end of a fight, but in a very close fight. Sometimes it could be a 10-second sequence that tips the scales ever so slightly in your favor.
Yeah, I think it's going to come down to that second round.
Yeah, probably.
And we have an unanimous decision by judges in this fight. And winner is in blue corner, Dmytro Makarov, Ukraine.
All right, Dmytro Makarov of Team Ukraine secures the 2nd senior gold for his nation. After decisioning Keen Mackarton of Ireland.
Let's have a medal ceremony for this category. Men.
Take a look at the replay. Some of the handiwork, the striking from Mackarton flourished in the 3rd round. Drove forward well, kept his back off the
And
cage,
medals
was
will
ready
be
for that
presented
takedown
by
attempt
Mr.
from Makarov.
Vincent White,
Ultimately,
International
Makarov swaying the judges
Federation
with his
CEO,
decision. Jumps the
and
guillotine here with the arm in, doesn't
Slobodan
finish it.
Maximovic,
There was a
Serbia,
squeeze,
White,
you can see there from the
President
reaction
of
from
MMA
Mackarton.
Federation.
Makarov, the flyweight champion here in the senior men's division.
Very, very nice work, and let's get things ready with the medal ceremonies.
And the bronze medalist in this category is Mr. Arsen Tuganov, Sweden. Another bronze goes to Mr. Mario Ferreira, Portugal. Silver, Mr. Kiean Mackarton, Ireland. And gold winner and European champion, Mr. Dmitro, Makar, Ukraine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's rise for national anthem of Ukraine. Thank you.